Hi, everybody. My name is Christina, and this is Behind the Review. So, for those of you who have been following me from the beginning, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support. As you know, last week I missed some videos from last week. I sincerely apologize. Hopefully, I can get back on track. Still have some kinks to work out. So if it seems like the recording is different today, it's because it is. I'm using something else to record. So I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible. So for today's video, I will be talking about a movie that I have seen a lot. I've seen it a lot. I feel like for a while I was watching it at least once a month. I have not seen it in a while. So today's video, I will be talking about the 1992 movie Noises Off. And it stars Carol Burnett, Michael Caine, John Ritter, Mark Linn-Baker, Julie Hagerty, Marilu Henner, Nicolette Sheridan, Christopher Reeve, and Denholm Elliott. I might have missed one. I don't think I did, but I might have, so I apologize. So this movie is one of my favorites. I quote it fairly often, and all I have to say is that this movie is filled with physical comedy. I can't talk about it too much because a lot of it is stuff that you have to see because it is so physical. It's a farce. So you have all of these characters that are going in and out of doors. When someone goes in one door, someone goes out the other. And it is just, it's a lot of physical things. So it's really hard to describe because it is something that you really need to see in order to grasp the concept. It is not appropriate for children. This is not a family movie. It is a comedy. But here's the thing. It does start off slow. I would say maybe give or take the first 10 minutes is slow, but that's because it's setting you up for the rest of the movie, and it has to. It has to do that, because if it doesn't, the rest of the movie doesn't quite make any sense. There is quite a bit of foul language, and also for a good portion of the movie, Nicolette Sheridan spends it in her underwear. And yeah, I don't know how else to talk about it other than basically what this movie is. You have Carol Burnett, John Ritter, all those guys. They are putting on a play. They're putting a production on that they eventually want to get onto Broadway. So what I find interesting is how these actors chose to play their characters, whether it's the character they're playing in the movie or their character that's playing a character in the play. I hope that made sense. So essentially, you have these actors that are playing two people. Michael Caine, Julie Hagerty, and Mark Linn-Baker don't play other parts because they're playing either the director, the stage manager, the prop person, the whatever. They're doing all like the like the behind the scenes stuff. Whereas you've got Christopher Reeve, Marilu Henner, Carol Burnett, those guys are on stage. They're the ones acting in this play. So I'm curious to know on how they decided how they were playing that particular character in the play. Were they, as actors, choosing how their character would play a character? Or are they doing it as like them as actors and how they would play it in a production? Because to me that seems like a lot of brain work if their character was, I don't know. It's possible, I don't know. But I feel like for a movie, it would be a little bit harder to understand that character because you only have a short amount of time to try and figure out to really understand your character. Whereas if they were to do this as like a TV series, as a TV series where you get to as over the years and like every week you get to learn a little bit more about your character, you have a little bit of better understanding, you get to grow with it, that maybe you would be able to do the stage character that you're doing based on your character. But what the heck do I know? I don't know. This is just my thinking of, based on my very little experience in acting. But that's how I would do it. If that was me, I would be doing it as myself. If I were cast in this role on stage, instead of me trying to be my character's character. That seems complicated. But anyway, I got a little sidetracked. I apologize. But there is, so if anybody has been in a stage production or you've seen a stage production, there is a lot of things that go into it. And so there are times where we in a way get to see kind of like a glimpse of what goes on backstage, like behind the scenes stuff. If it seems chaotic, it's because it is, and it's supposed to be. That's what makes it funny. And like I said, I quote this movie pretty often. It just depends on what someone has said or how they said a particular word that will trigger something in my brain that goes, oh, it sounded like this from this movie, and I will quote it. And so, but this is just, it's a lot of, if you can make it through the first 10 or so minutes, give or take, the rest of it will be, I don't know if I necessarily would say smooth sailing, but it makes, what are the words? It makes it, that's where the fun comes in. Let's put it that way. That's when all hilarity ensues. You've got misunderstandings galore. And it is just, a lot of misunderstandings, and then definitely a lot of physical comedy. Especially John Ritter, who I think is a genius at physical comedy. Him and Dick Van Dyke are like legends to me in physical comedy. Carol Burnett, also very good at physical comedy, but she can pretty much do anything. She too is a legend. Like, you have, this cast is filled with incredible actors. And so it is from 1992. I'm not entirely sure how people can watch it. I don't know where it's available to stream. If it is available to stream, you might have to rent it or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. That it's just a lot of physical comedy, but it's also, we also see this production traveling, because they're touring on their way to Broadway, hoping that they do make it to Broadway. But that's where the beginning part, the first 10 minutes, helps you set up everything. It's telling you everything that goes on, all that stuff. And so that way you'll have an understanding of why things may or may not fall apart. And I believe it's their second stop. It's their second stop on the tour that we see, I believe, is in Miami Beach, where we see a lot of the stuff that happens backstage. Basically, that entire segment is all backstage of this production, whereas the rest of it, we see the front of the stage, where we actually see them actually trying to put it on and see them actually playing their roles. But it's to some people, it might seem absolutely ridiculous and stupid. But to me, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. It's almost kind of like, I almost want to say the Three Stooges, but I could be wrong. Just because it's, like I said, it's a lot of the physical stuff. Because when you're backstage, you're not supposed to talk. So they're trying to communicate to each other without saying a word or trying to stay quiet. So they're like trying to signal to each other different things. There's just a lot going on. I'm trying to do the best that I can to describe it, but again, this is definitely something you have to see in order to understand the comedy and the chaos that happens. So if you ever have a chance, please watch this movie. It is one of my favorites. I don't know how else I can talk about this because I don't want to give too much away, but at the same time, what can I give away? Because it's all stuff that is visual, that is something you need to see. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, if when you get a chance to watch this, again, like I said, if it seems like it's all chaotic, it's supposed to. That's the point. That is exactly the point. Because they're putting on a production. Sometimes it gets crazy. Believe me, I've been in a production. I know how things get. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. So please give this movie a shot. Noises Off from 1992. One of my favorites. I believe, of my immediate family, this is a movie we all enjoy. We all laugh. Of course, now I'm at the point where I laugh before the punchline, or I decide that I'm going to act along with them. So that makes it fun for me too. So for now, that's all I've got for you. I wish I had more, but I don't know what else I could say about this. So remember to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future things. I will do my best to get this back on schedule. I apologize for the delay for last week. You know, things happen, and that's okay. So I'm going to try to get back on track here. Thank you again for joining me and sticking with me on this, well, I don't know if it's crazy road, but this journey. Thank you for taking this journey with me. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.